Hi friends, this video is for to show like how I keep my cones fresh. Actually, these are the cones. I made them frozen, and I think it's been a month. I prepared these cones and I stored in the henna cone. So this is the henna applicator cone I use, and I put them in the Ziploc. And normally I do write the date on the Ziploc to know how long they are stored in the freezer. And I just now took it out. I normally put them in the Ziploc and store them in the freezer. Whenever I need it, I just take how many cones I need it, and I just leave it on the table at the room temperature. I don't microwave, I don't put it in the water to make it at the room temperature. I just leave it on the table for a couple of minutes, or else you can do by keeping in your hand, because your hand temperature will make it melt the cone, henna cone. Like it takes I think 10 to 15 minutes to do this henna cone for the room temperature. And this is the way keep my henna cones fresh. And maybe you have a question like how long these henna cones work better on the body. Normally I do keep it for 6 months, preferably maybe 5 months, but I never used it for 6 months long. So whenever I'll put these cones in the Ziploc and make a date on the Ziploc to know how long they are being stored in the freezer. And whenever I need it, I'll just keep it out till it comes to the room temperature and I apply it. But better if you use it for only 6 months whenever you store the henna cones fresh. And the normal fresh henna cones, not the frozen, I mean to say. The fresh henna cone, just you prepare the henna paste and you filled it in the cone. So immediately you can use it for the body art purpose. But at the room temperature, if you leave it for 2 days, it will work. The 48 hours. Once you mix the henna paste at the room temperature, it will stay fresh for 48 hours. If you don't want to use it more than before the 48 hours, you just put it in the fridge by filling into the cone. In the fridge, normally 3 days. 72 hours, you can put it in the fridge. It will work better. But if you don't want to use before the 72 hours, then I recommend you to keep this in the freezer section. So that the stain will be guaranteed on your skin. And I think it's been almost 10 days I had my henna on my wrist, and the stain is still there. This was the fresh cone. I used it actually. The paste I made it immediately. I used it on my body. And these are the remaining cones, so I just made them frozen. And other caution or precaution you have to take is, once this is at the room temperature, once the frozen cone is at the room temperature, it is better you use it the whole cone. I don't recommend you to putting this melted cone back to the freezer. That way you are not guaranteed about the stain. It's like if you are lucky you will get a stain, or else I'm not sure. I never used it. Once this is there at the room temperature, whatever is the amount I use it, I just leave it the remaining amount, or I will trash it, or I will put it on myself, like that. That is the best precaution, and that is how you guaranteed about the stain. Once this is there, use it or throw it. That's why I recommend you to fill in the smaller cones like this. This way, the quantity won't be waste. If you are making for one person or a small tattoo, maybe this whole won't be go, but 3/4 amount will be used, but other 1/4 amount will be wasted. So this is how you minimize the wasting of your henna paste. So these are the things I consider when I make my henna cones. And this wraps, I think the plastic wrap you are seeing, it's just the plaster I have at my home. That time I was preparing. You can use the invisible tape so that the henna cones looks good. So I am putting these henna cones back to my Ziploc, and you have to make sure the tips are being put properly, otherwise these are like the melted and the solid cones. Once if we put something not proper way, then the tip will be definitely be broken. So I'll make sure they are they are stored good. And now I'm going to keep this back to my freezer, because this is just, I think, the video purpose. I just took them out, and I have some more the henna cones. So this is how I make my cones. And only the precautions you have to consider is when you're making fresh henna cone, you measure the like powder, how much you need it really. It is better always you make them fresh, so the stain will be guaranteed, and the flow also, while doing the henna on the skin, the flow also will be very very fresh, and you won't even feel any like breaks in the lines or something. Always prefer fresh. If you have more and more, that is the only way is storing. But once the storing is there, like the freezer cones, yeah, like better you use it like within months of storing the fresh cone. So if you have any questions or comments, you can shoot me at hennacurve@gmail.com, or you can leave in the comment section, or you can go to my blog and search for the relevant topic. You can find many information about the henna, like even I have some tips like many tips about the henna for hair, like how you can use, and even the indigo, like how you can turn your hair black, or the required shades, or the free henna designs. So you can watch me at hennacurve.com at blog. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.